I'm watching church. I can't tell y'all that it took me 20 minutes to get on here because I was in the tub and I had got, just the urge to go live because I just had a lot flashing through my head. And everything that could possibly mess up. I hit my knee. I knocked everything down. Like, literally. So the phone kept falling. I hope my thing doesn't up. I'm really not doing the topic right now. Like I said, I was in the tub. What was I doing? Listening to the opening of church. They do 2 songs at the beginning. But I was like, that topic, because I know it's funny, because my podcast is like from the past to the future. But I feel like the stuff that I'm dealing with right now and going through right now is like, some people need to know. Like, some stuff you just don't see until you really go looking. This is all I do. Like, I think they come on Thursday. No, what's today? Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. I listen to motivational videos. Like, I listen to really, this like I was telling my best friend the other night. I listen to the rich people. Because, and I'm not talking about like the smart rich people, because they had everything that I'm fasting and doing right now. They had to go through that to continue to get success. So I listen to them, like Steve Harvey. I listen to Steve Harvey the most because, like, he's one of the ones that was older when his success started. So just the stuff, and it's not even business-wise is why I listen to him. It's more their mental state, because their mental state had to change in order for them to elevate. So I listen to them all the time. But yeah, let me hold it. Oh wow, okay. But yeah, I listen to Steve Harvey the most. He have a lot, but he actually aspires to be. He probably is now, but he wanted to be a motivational speaker, so he have a lot of different things. Somebody else I listen to is Les Brown. Most of the people I listen to are men. Let's just say that. Because a lot of people like to say that women are, like, they develop faster, but emotionally they don't. So I listen to a lot of different men. I actually watched Cam Newton show that he got on BET. It's called Sip and Smoke. And he had Steve Harvey on there, Tiana Taylor, the Brat, the Veil sisters. He had him on there. And these are all people I feel like that are woke. Like, to me, woke emotionally. Because it is it's a lot of people right now, and I feel like I was that way about 10 days ago. This day 16, and let me tell you, them first 7 was eye-opening. But I used to think I was always doing it right. It's the lack of knowledge, like the lack of knowing a different way. Like, for instance, I know a lot of people right now that I could help. Even if, I can help. But it's through putting in the work. Like, I feel like I had 2 years worth of notes on the different stuff I went through, and I'm still writing like today, right now. Because I learned something different every single day, and I was the person that knew it all. So the fact that I'm as smart as I am and I still didn't know a lot of this stuff, I feel for the people that really don't know nothing, like as far as emotional health and how to deal with different situations, and how something can be brainwashed into your habits to the point you think that that's the best it can be when it's not. So, you know, some people would say, oh, I ain't gonna listen to her because this before. Okay, let's be truthful. Somebody could say they don't, fool with me, or they don't like me. Honestly, whoever says that, I literally haven't probably not seen y'all in 10 years. Like, so who cares? At this point, all of us have children. The things that I come to find every single day, I feel like every woman needs to know, because it's detrimental to the continuation of the wrong thing happening. Like, but you have to want it also. Like, I don't just get up every day and do what I do because it's something to do. Like, I want it. I want to be the best person I can be, completely, like, for real. So, not just for me, for my children, for my career, for all the things that are coming toward me. So, I really take it serious. It's not a game. It's not a joke. And I guess, a lot of people wouldn't understand me because they don't understand where I used to be at. Like, how I can't even give it a word. I can't even give the feeling a word of how I felt at the time that I was going through the worst part of my life. I can't even give it a feeling. So I'm running away from that. That's what I'm doing. So anything I can do to avoid putting myself back in the wrong position, I'm gonna do that. My mental state is the most important to me right now than it's ever been in my life, because with it being as bad as it was, it wasn't even worth it. I still ended up with nothing. So, but also I want to say, this process does not involve me trying to find someone. I'm not trying to find someone. I'm not interested. I have 3 children with 3 different people. I ain't interested. Clearly, I got work to do. So, I'm not trying to get to know nobody. Would have been 4, but the 4th person was a girl. So, come on. Like, let it go. Let it go. I'm on a whole different wave right now. I'm gonna make it. My son, he stopped me. But yeah, I'm not interested. I have so much stuff on my plate, like people don't even understand how much time I'm putting into myself right now. Like, I don't have time for nothing but me and my children. And when I get a break, I like try to really take a break, but I don't really take a break because, like I say, I listen to a lot of stuff all day, a lot of different things, just to find knowledge. A book that I suggest to every parent is A Conscious Parent. It's called A Conscious Parent. I got a hold of this book in 2019. I went on Google, and because at the time my son wasn't adjusting to pre-K at all, so I was desperate because he had became somebody I didn't even know who he was. So I started Googling. I'm like, what's the best, recommended book to help you with your child? And I kept seeing Oprah come up about this book that she really, really pushed. And I downloaded it. I kid you not, I read 5 chapters. It's probably like, I don't even know how many chapters, but it's way more than that. I wasn't that deep in it. But I read 5 chapters, changed my whole outlook. That's when my process began, when I started reading that book. Because then I realized I was messed up. All that time, I thought I wasn't. Until I was 30. Like, I really thought I was good. But I wasn't. So, reading that book changed my life. And then, of course, I started listening to Sarah Jakes. Just her individually. So, it would be random sermons she done did. And I kid you not, every time I clicked on one, I learned something. And I just kept it. It was random, and she would be right on point with what was going on. Like, when I say I came from so far down listening to her. And then also, I was a person that really didn't speak my mind. So, I know it's crazy, but Janae Aiko, I started listening to her, and she's very expressive, and we're the same sign, Pisces. So it's like what she was saying was exactly what I wanted to say, but I didn't really want to say it because I'm non-confrontational. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I will fight, contrary to belief. Let me stop. I'm aligning myself. I ain't trying to fight nobody, first of all. But if I had to, and it was about my kids or something like that, I would. But anyway, I started listening to Janae Aiko because that's how I express my anger. The anger that I would let build up on the inside, and it'll just eat away. Because I didn't say the stuff I really wanted to say to people. Because I didn't like to hurt people's feelings. But sometimes I realize now, sometimes you got to hurt people's feelings. Like, they don't care about hurting your feelings. So, long as I'm speaking the truth, your feelings are yours. Because if your feelings hurt, that means it might be a little true and you just can't believe I said it. But, hey, that's how it happens sometimes. I am getting so many friend requests. Let me tell you, I don't know what has occurred, but I ain't interested. As I said at the beginning, go back, take the video back after I save it. I'm not interested, okay? Um, but anyway, I started listening to Jhené Aiko because that's how I express my anger. And Summer Walker was like, when she did that first album, it was on point, right? So once I, got up the confidence from listening to that, I started expressing myself on the outside. I would say just a little bit at the beginning, more than I would at first. But now, I ain't gotta listen. The songs don't even sound the same, because I feel like when I did start listening to that music, I was in a broken place, so it affected my feelings and everything. Now when I listen to it, it's just a song. A lot of music I listen to now is just a song. And it's so crazy that you don't even realize that the song, if you're in a broken place, the song gives you anxiety. It makes you, like, it gets you amped up because you're reliving something that made you feel that way. But see, I'm at peace with everything I done been through. So when I listen to music, it don't hit the same unless it's one of my hype days and I decide to listen to Wayne. But the sentimental music, I don't even listen to sentimental music anymore, but not as much as I used to. I used to every day. But it's like a vibe for me now. It's not so much to express my feelings. But yeah, I was listening to them, and it helped me. Like I say, I'm not confrontational, especially with people I'm dating or in a relationship with. I'm non-confrontational, so it's hard for me to yell at somebody that I love, even with my family. But you get to a point, truth is, I'm tired. And you just gotta say what you gotta say. Because people are toxic, and sometimes they don't know. They really don't know that they're toxic. I didn't know I was toxic until all this started. Until I met my little baby's dad. That's when I realized I was toxic, because he's super calm. So I would be all in my feelings and emotions, like going spazzing over nothing. And he'll be so calm, like, you tripping. So eventually, because it's so funny, I have never been a bad guy in any of my relationships. So it was kind of shocking. It was like I woke up dealing with meeting him, because I was the bad guy for the first time. I was bringing the drama. I was bringing the over-exaggerated emotions. So I was like, okay, you tripping. We need to evaluate this, because what is going on? Before that point, I really felt like I was doing everything right. And I could have been, but my behavior started to turn toxic, dealing with the different situations, and I wasn't recognizing how they were changing me. So meeting him, a whole different approach, a whole different mood, it blew my toxic traits up, like they were at the forefront, because I was the only drama. It was weird, but whatever. I had to check myself, and here we are today. I started checking myself, and I started finding out more stuff, and I just kept going. I guess, like they be saying, I'm in the rabbit hole at this point, and I'm still finding stuff right now. Like, it's crazy. But I mean, I find stuff out every day that I didn't realize about myself that wasn't healthy. So that's why I really, you know, of course, all of my social media is people that know me, came across me, or went to school with me, or from the same place I'm from. So, of course, I feel like if I'm as smart as I am, and there were things that I lacked for the world, because all of this really didn't come to the forefront until I moved away. I've been away 8 years, and I feel like without that happening, I would still be stuck in the box of what you think it should be and not what it really is. So I just want to share, you know, a lot of the stuff that I find out, especially with the people that's from where I'm from, because I already know what y'all lack. So be 100 with yourself, because I'm going to keep it 100 with myself. Be 100 with yourself. I know what y'all lack because I lacked it. And I felt like I was up here to begin with. So imagine the people that aren't as smart as me, that don't have the resources that I had, that don't go looking for the knowledge. They probably, what position you think they in. So it's just crazy how you can be conditioned and you don't even know. You don't even know. Like, you don't even know how conditioned you are until it blow up in your face and you're 30 with 3 children by 3 different people in the worst mental state that you have ever been in. Like, because really it was almost too late. Like, but I'm blessed. I'm blessed that certain people were put in my life at the right time. Like, right, you have no idea. That's why I say everything that I'm doing for a reason. Like, I was told, this was put on my soul to do everything that I'm doing right now because somebody needs it. And when I had nothing, I still was being blessed because that's how I made it here right now. Like, when I was at my lowest, I still was being blessed because I had somebody put in my life that I had just met that literally went through every day with me. And then right after that, I had somebody else put in my life that changed my whole outlook on the world, like on everything that goes on emotionally, mentally, financially. I used to conform a lot. I feel like I conformed until the last year when all of this started. Because I'm like a chameleon. So I can be whatever I need to be in an environment. Which I thought was a good thing. Because, you know, people ain't going to really not like you if you in the environment and you fitting with the environment. But people still didn't like me anyway. And I just was like, you know, that's because I was being something that I wasn't for people that didn't even like me anyway. So that's stupid. But hey, I'm live. And that's with relationships, friends, family, everything. This is the first time in my life I'm myself. That's sad at 32. It's sad, but it is what it is. Because I'm glad I got here. Like, I know where I came from. So, getting here, I'm doing the work to do it. But I couldn't even see past all that situation. I didn't even think I would see this. So, I'm blessed. Like, and people won't understand because, first of all, they don't care to understand. Let's put that out there. They don't care to understand. If people care to understand, they would listen when you talk. Oh, that just made me think about stuff. Y'all know I'd be right.
It was what Tiana Taylor said.
It was something I heard the other day. I think that was Sunday. Because like I had said, my pastor is doing a series, being the evidence of God. And this Sunday was, I think this was like week 4. And this one was the difference that faith makes. I ain't gonna be able to find it because I write a lot, y'all. A lot. I write everything down. Everything. I ain't gonna be able to find it that quick. But he said something about that. People have to care to understand, you know. They're not gonna feel you because they weren't there. It wasn't happening to them. But I put myself through a lot of stuff. And I say that because I did. Even though, you know, the actions toward me weren't mine, I put myself in those situations to be used. But I just want to tell people, like, look back in your history, like, not to say dwell on the past, but you have to know where you started. So, because I went all the way back, like, as far as I could remember, down to the age of 4, but I can't remember nothing after that. And I just started looking, your perspective has to change. You cannot look back into the past with the same mind that you had the whole time up until right now. You can't. You can't look into the past until you change your perspective. So, change your perspective and just look back. Because you're not looking for the same things once you change your perspective. So, look back and see where it all started, like all of the habits, the negativity, anything that you possess right now that shouldn't be of you. You got to find out where it started. That's how you attack it. Not necessarily attack who was involved or what happened or whatever, but attack the problem. Because you can't attack a problem that you don't understand. That's just like doing math. If you're doing math, and you trying to solve the problem, but you don't understand the problem, you're not going to solve it. So, you have to understand the problem. Let me close my... And that's why I feel like I didn't know I had as many problems. Because I didn't see them, first of all. A lot of this was a shock to me. Because, baby, I just thought I had it and I was going to handle it. I just never knew stuff affected me as much as it did. And that comes out, people don't realize that they could say, oh, I'm good. You're really not. Because if you were, you would be living life different today than you were yesterday. Or 10 days ago, or 20 days ago, or 30 days ago. So you're not good. You have stuff that need to be addressed. I have stuff that needs to be addressed. That's what people fail to realize. I'm not perfect. I have realized it. I've adapted that. You know, that is me. I'm not perfect. So, like I say, every day I learn something. I still get frustrated. I really get frustrated now because I'm fasting. So, I've been having to take my breathing time, but I try to stay focused on the purpose of this because I'm doing 90 days and I have 76 to go. So I look forward to, what I do is I look at the future. So in 50 days, when I'm down to 26 days left, I'm excited to see where I'm gonna be. I'm excited because this is the freest my mind has ever been, like with no worries, no anxiety, no drama. Man, you know how I keep saying I'm non-confrontational? I really am. But it's like I always had something going on. And that used to baffle me. But I realized that I used to put myself in situations that brought me drama. But I really am non-confrontational. It takes too much energy. And you know, I just got my back. Like, I ain't have it for 3 years. I ain't have my mobility. So what I can't be doing is using my energy to fight people. Like, I just got this body back. That's what people don't get, man. That's what they don't get. They think this a joke, like it's a game. I work out every day because for 3 years I couldn't play basketball. I couldn't. And basketball was my first passion. The first thing I was passionate about. The only thing I feel like I was passionate about. That's why I'm trying to find my passion right now. Because that was it. So when I graduated high school, I didn't know where to go because basketball was my passion. So realizing, I just don't understand why all these different people are adding me. I don't know. But I just, I didn't have a passion after I graduated high school.
It wasn't an hour.
I still played basketball when I went to college, but I knew at that point it wasn't going to be a career. So
you ain't gotta get out
at that point, it was like, I'm really not interested in nothing else. So I tried a lot of different things. It was a lot of different things I was going to do. Like, I was going to go to the Army. That wasn't really what I wanted to do, but that was a time in my life where I was a people pleaser. I was a do the right thing no matter how I felt type of person back then. But I was going to go to the Army. That ain't happened because God saw fit and that just wasn't where I was supposed to be. Then I was going to be a police officer. But it's funny because the reason I didn't want to go to the Army is because I'm non-confrontational. So I was like, what if I go to, I can't be out there fighting. Like, I'm going to tell him. Look, can we just talk about this? Cause I ain't got time. So I realized that wasn't where I needed to go. Like, because I wasn't even the type of person for that. So I don't even know why I went to want to be a police officer next, because I'm non-confrontational. I am not finna fight somebody every day. Like, It exhausts me. It takes too much of my energy. I'm an energy liver. That's how I live, really, on positive energy. And negative energy drains me. It literally drains me. Clearly, everybody know that. It drained me down to 112 pounds. Like, I don't like to fight at all because I don't have the energy capacity to even do anything after that. So I feel like it even shows right now, because right now I'm exploring so many different things that I never had time to explore because I was spending all my time fighting. But yeah, so yeah, I was gonna be a police officer. But I was like, well, it might be a little easier in Louisiana because the crime rate, it was small. It wasn't. But then I decided to move to Dallas, and I was like, no, that ain't happening. And I had literally just I had started getting job offers to be a police. And I was like, yeah, we gonna have to change that because I'm not being the police in Dallas. I don't even like to fight. You think I'm gonna go to Dallas and fight? Like, I watch First 48. I'm not doing it. So I let it go. And I came here and sold cars. Now, the crazy thing is, nobody can tell me I can't do nothing at all. Everything that I do to the greatest of my ability. And it's always a goal to be the best. Like, that's how I operate. So, I feel like I had 3 failed relationships because you're not going to tell me this is not going to work. That's how I was, which is toxic. Like, I had control problems. But, yeah, I could do anything. That's just what I think about myself. So, I went to be a car salesman. I didn't know anything about cars. But, again, like I keep telling y'all, you get blessed. I was getting blessed in the middle of bad decision after bad decision. Like, now, me being a car salesman wasn't a bad decision. The process in which I moved here was a bad decision. So, funny thing is, I was a car salesman. I ended up learning so much stuff about cars. At the time I was a car salesman, I was pregnant with my son. And when I say I was killing it, I was the only female top salesman in that store, month after month. And my son is 6 now, obsessed with cars, obsessed. Oh my God, we play these games when we ride in the car. And we'll randomly name a manufacturer of a car, and whoever finds it first, see, that's what I'm saying, devil. Whoever finds it first, win. They get to pick the next manufacturer. But what I'm saying is, that was my blessing in the middle of a bad decision. Like, I became what I became at that car dealership to help my son be what he may be. He's 6 and he know cars that I don't even know. And I know a lot of cars, because when I tell you, when I do something, I do it. Like, I was like, okay, you gonna sell these cars? Okay, we gonna do it. I used to walk the lot every morning before I started working, looking at the car, looking at what type it is, manufacturer, model, like everything, looking at the features. If we got a new car in, I'm gonna go straight out, look at the features, look at this, look at that. I will match my customers perfectly to a car because they will walk in and I already knew the inventory in my head. That was just me wanting to be the best. Like, if I was going to do it, I was going to do it. Like, you was going to know that I'm in here selling. So, I went head first into it. But it took a lot of my time. Like, I worked literally 7 days a week. I would go in on my off day. Well, I ain't even work 7 days a week. Let me not tell that a lie. Because Sunday, we was closed. But every other day, 6 days a week, I worked every day. But it was taking time away from my daughter. So when my son was born, I was like, I'm gonna have to let it go. So another career change, you know, like I say, I've done, because I was searching for my passion, which I love selling cars, but I didn't like the time I had to give because I was more interested in being a mom than selling cars. But I loved it though. I would probably go back to it in my older age if I could own a car dealership or something. But my son, I ain't gonna have to worry about that because my son is gonna build cars. So, you know, we'll but yeah, my son is obsessed with cars. Like, that's all he do all day. He customize cars. He draw cars. He watch cars on YouTube. He talks about cars in the car. He talks about the car. Everything is about cars. and what he's gonna build me and what he gonna build his sister and just the car he's gonna get when he started driving. And it's so crazy because I love cars too. When I was a kid, I started driving at 9, so I love driving. And it's funny to see him obsessed with the same thing, because that just shows you how much your children get from you. Each of my children, besides the baby, because I don't really know, she looking a little on that side right now because the attitude, I don't know where that come from. But it's funny to see your kids have your personality, because both of mine have my personality in a lot of ways. But yeah, he obsessed with cars, and he wants to be a mechanical engineer. He wants to build cars on his own. He want me to drive the prototypes. Like, for real, that's what he talk about at 6. But yeah, that's his passion. And to see him passionate about that, and just to know how far it could go, he could go with it, I'm excited. I get excited to see it. Like, and I tell my daughter all the time, like, she's super smart. Super smart. Oh my God. She like me all over again. But she like me all over again in some bad ways too, because I was lazy. I was lazy because I was super smart. Like, I didn't try that hard, and I feel like that's looking back, you know what I'm saying? Like I was saying earlier, where you come from, how you're in a box. I didn't feel the need to elevate because I felt like I knew more already. I didn't feel the desire to go higher when I lived at home. But when you start listening to people and feeding yourself knowledge, you run after the things that you don't know. You listen to people that know more than you. And it's not to say that somebody might not, know much, but they may know something. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, I wasn't learning anything at first. And I was lazy because I knew I didn't have to do much to get by. But once I came out here, it was like a whole different... I wouldn't say as soon as I came out here, because being with somebody from back where I was from, it was still kind of familiar territory. But once I started venturing out and meeting different people, I realized I didn't know as much as I thought I knew in different situations. I also realized that I would bring myself down to a lot of people's level, not really being my authentic self, because I'm conforming to the environment. That was something I didn't know until a couple years ago. I was a people pleaser, and now people can go wherever they gonna go, because people get on my nerves, for real. Because people don't like to change. And that was something else I realized about myself. People did not like change that were in my life. And I change often. If somebody knew me 10 years ago, I'm far from that right now. If you knew me 2 years ago, I'm not even the same. Even last year to right now, I'm not the same. So I change often. So I would get a lot of pushback from people around me when I try to do stuff different. And I didn't realize how toxic that was until, how long have I been doing this? 16 days. Until 16 days ago, I did not realize how toxic it is to conform to what people want you to be and let them put you in a box. I used to think people would like me more because I was exactly what they wanted me to be, but it never worked. Like, as soon as I was what they wanted me to be, they wanted something else. So we just kept going in the circle. Like, I thought you wanted this. No, I want this. Oh, okay. Well, let me be this. Oh, I don't want that. I want that. Like, people are selfish, and people are hard to please when they're selfish. So I was a person that gave too much. And I took too, because like I said, I'm a smart person. You wasn't just gonna play me, but I was non-confrontational, but you wasn't just gonna play me. So I took too. And I took with the wrong intentions, because by then I was all broken and upset and angry, and I had become this horrible person because I let it go on so long. So like I said, meeting a person of calm stature, because I don't even think I knew anybody calm before I met him. I was the calm one. That was the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing. And me and my friend Kim used to laugh at this all the time, because back in the Gap, I really was the calm one. Like, I really was non-confrontational. I did not like fighting at all. Like, I was who I am right now back then. But right now, I'm wiser. Like, I pick my battles better. But back then, no, I was not going to fight. And me and her used to laugh all the time, because I was the calm one back then. But now, well, I would say like maybe a year or two ago, I had turned into this person, man, where I was tired of taking people's stuff. Like, I was so tired of people being mean to me. Like, I was fed up, and I had become this angry person. I would say like
I gotta finish cooking
2018 going to 2019. And the smallest thing that set me off, like, if I feel like you trying to play me, I'm gonna go off.
minutes.
Because I had it by then. So it was more of me emerging, standing up for myself, but it came off so aggressive and so angry, because I was tired. Like, I had been going through that since I was 20 years old. Like, people trying to bully me into what they wanted me to be. Like, it was just so much push pull. Like, I'm telling you who I am, but you steady trying to push on me what you want me to be. I went through that my whole life. So of course, through this process, I had to go back and see where that came from. Like, and we ain't even gonna get up it. Yeah, I had to see where that came from. Like, why it was always such a push-pull. And I realized that I'm a changing person. I love change. I love it. I change my room around probably every couple months. I change my furniture around every couple months. I change my routine up every month. Like, I love change. I love to look at stuff and it's different than what it was at first. A lot of people have their house the same for 10 years. That ain't me. Like, I'm going to change my furniture. In 1 year, I'm going to change my furniture about three times. And that's every room. The kids' room, my room, the living room. The stuff on my counter, I'm going to position it different probably every week. I love change. So I figured out that a lot of people that I dealt with, had in my life, past, present, they're still the same from the time I met them, or the time literally I met them. They were still the same. So I had to realize that I was putting myself in environments that I didn't belong in, relationship wise. And I won't say they're still completely the same, but as far as the major things are still the same. And I change all the time. I accept change. And I don't think I'm better than anybody or nothing like that. I'm just chasing me. Like, don't get mad at me for chasing me. Don't say, oh, you the only one that could change. You're not the only one. I know that. But a lot of people choose not to. You know that? The person who telling me that is choosing not to. People choose every single thing that is going on with them. As an adult, you choose it. Now, a child, that's a different story. But as an adult, you choose everything that's going on in your life. It was brought on by something you did. I'm a single parent because it was brought on by events that I chose. And now, you know, I'm handling it. Don't get it twisted. But, yeah. That's what I'm saying. But everything is your fault. That's what I had to tell myself. Well, that's what I had to realize about me. Yeah, all this was my fault. But that's just, you know, all in bad habits, bad choices, following your heart and not your mind, because your heart could get you in trouble. A lot of my decisions were heart-based, because like I said, I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I love really hard, and I love 100% truthfully. So it can be difficult to deal with when you're not an honest person. Because I don't care about being honest. I could be honest. Stuff I did, stuff I've been through. At this point, look, you better be lucky if I remember. Because let me tell you, this memory is getting bad every day. Every day as we go forward, it's getting worse and worse. And my best friend could tell you, because she keeps telling me she gonna get me something. Oh, and I saw it today. What is it? Nariva? Because baby, this memory, look, I was talking on the live with them dudes, and literally I could not remember the dates of my relationships, and the numbers just wasn't adding up. And I was like, look, I don't remember no dates. It was traumatic enough. I feel like I done blocked it out at this point, to the point I don't even remember certain stuff, like exactly when it happened. Of course, the things that taught me the most, I can, you know, reflect on that, but I choose not to, because I've learned already. So I'm moving forward every day. I don't reflect on what happened. And that's why I decided to come on here and go live, like randomly. And I feel like maybe I should do randomly from this point out, because I started my podcast off reliving the past. And it's like, yeah, I want y'all to know the past, blah, blah. Where I learned stuff from and blah, blah. But I don't want to relive, you know, every moment of what happened. Because I ain't going to remember. That's the first issue. Like I just said, that's the first issue. I probably don't remember that. It was so traumatic. Especially the stuff at the end. Like that third relationship was really traumatic for me. When I lost half myself. Okay? I was half the size that I used to be. My daughter weighed more than me right now than I weighed at that time. So it was a real traumatic situation. My back injury. I do not know why I keep getting all these strange questions. And it's starting to get a little creepy. Let me tell you. Then they message. That's what I'm saying, man. Just stop. It ain't been 10 minutes.
I said by the time I know it's enforcement.
Exactly. Exactly. What's going on? Hey.
Yes, what?
I take the follow, because you know I'm trying to do bigger and better things. I'm not worried about talking to nobody. Like I said, I'm not interested. Let me reiterate that, because I've probably been on here a minute now. I'm not interested. Okay.
Or the cornbread place. People will give you 5 stars at the cornbread place.
Did somebody got me on something? Did somebody post me on something that I'm not aware of? I need to know. Did somebody put me in a group message? Thanks for the follow word, because I'm trying to do something bigger than that little whatever. But did somebody put me in a group message? Dang. Because today, baby, they been cutting up.
Did you know Barnacle Boy laid an egg?
Oh, my memory. Yeah, I don't remember nothing.
He's,
All I
they say
remember
it,
is
huh?
after the only stuff I remember vivid is after January 13th, 2020. Anything before that, look, and that's kind of fuzzy. From 2020 to right now, that's kind of fuzzy. So anything before that, I did what I did. I went through what I went through. What happened, happened. And I ain't got time. It's not affecting nothing right now.
No, it hasn't.
I
But this hot.
did myself wrong. I didn't put energy into myself. I was not chasing my dreams. I was chasing other people's
See,
dreams.
you do.
I was not chasing my dreams. I was not putting energy into myself. And all of that stuff that I just said that I wasn't doing, I do now. So I don't care now who likes it,
Next.
who's okay with it. Because every second that I put into myself, it's positive. So if you're not giving me positivity every second, because if I could give it to myself, I could be alone. And that's how I look at it right now. I put so much into myself, I don't need nobody else to give me. Me and God are working on something right now. So I see you, January. What is my 90th date? I think my 90th date
It's
is
just went back to
January
sleep.
11th. So January 11th, hopefully I'll see you, because that's 76 days from now. So in 76 days, you may not even fit who need to be in my life by January 11th. So hey, I pray you make it. That's what we need to do. Pray you make it. Look, the devil like, oh, you getting hyped. Yes, I'm getting hyped. Pray you make it to January 11th, Lord. Because it's hard out here. It's hard. Hi, Nicole. Let me tell you, Nicole, baby, best advice. The day out, it wasn't January 13th, but it was January 17th. And I remember the day, Nicole. January 17th, 2020, Nicole gave me the best advice that I had ever heard in my life. And I still implement it every day. What you want? She looked me in my face and said, because I was a mess by then, but I just knew it was supposed to be in Nicole. Everybody can't go, baby. That's what she told me. And I kid you not, I have lived by that since then. Because that was the realest thing I ever heard. Like, because that was my biggest issue. I always was trying to take people with me. Like, I never wanted to leave people behind. I used to hate to give up on people. Even if they had never really put any time into me. I used to hate to give up on people. I would put all of my energy, like, into them. Whatever they needed, I was gonna help them get it. Because I'd be like, I know what I'm capable of. I know, this was my mind frame at the time. I knew what I was capable of. I knew I could do anything. I knew it was nothing for me to come up. So, I was more, let me help you. So when I'm ready to go, you come on. But Nicole told me everybody can't go. And today I sit here alone. Because that was the truth, and I wouldn't have made it here if I wasn't alone. Like, I lived alone for the first time in my adulthood. But this is the longest, and I'm 32. This is the longest I have lived by myself. 2 years, almost. It'll be 2 years at the end of this year. So that just tells you how much I used to people please. Like, how long I stayed places I shouldn't have been. Like, because really, Lord, I should have been alone a long time ago. Shit. For real. But it's okay. It's okay. I just started living. And Lord, I'm living a better life because I know better. And because she gave me that advice, Lord. Oh, Jesus. But see, that's why, because my topic was going to be, not everyone is your friend. Know your friends, man. Everybody be out here ready to call somebody a friend. What it mean? Tell me what it means. Tell me what a friend means. Because we ain't got to be attached at the hip to be friends. If I have never had an altercation with you during our friendship, we friends. Friends don't fight. They don't argue. They don't get into it. You should be able to tell your friend anything. Now you do have, of course, the friends that talk every day. You have friends that you may not talk to all the time, but that doesn't make them any less of a friend either. Now, of course, somebody that's going through everyday life with me is going to know more about me. They're going to be more involved. But it's a lot of friends that I have that I don't even talk to every day, probably not even every month. But when somebody is a friend to me, I take my friendship seriously, especially now. I used to think I did a lot, as I was growing up and stuff, but I was not a good friend. Let me tell you. When it came the day that I realized I was not a good friend, I was like, oh, girl, let me tell you, I had an awakening in every aspect of my life. Oh my God. I had an awakening in every aspect. I was not a good friend. I was manipulative. I was a liar. Just unnecessary stuff just to fit in, just to be liked. Like I said, I was chasing, pleasing people and not really being myself. But today, yeah. I mean, a lot of my friends from, I would say, that were friends with me before and they might not have seen me in 5 years, I'm a totally different person. They could probably, if they really, because I'm going to be honest, with my friends, I was myself. Because they didn't judge me, like, they didn't want me to be something else. People that I still consider a friend right now, they didn't pressure me to be something else. I could be myself. So I won't say that. I'm gonna say, yeah, like they would know a lot of the stuff, like personality wise, who I am right now. But as far as in depth, like what I'm going through, what I'm doing in my life, what God doing in my life, they won't know that, because that just came out. Like that just was revealed. Like I said, I've been going through the process for 2 years. So all of this just came about to a lot of people, but it's been happening to me. But yeah, I used to want to be popular and wanted everybody to like me, but then at the same time, I was inconsiderate, because if I didn't know you, I didn't care. I didn't care how you felt. I didn't care what my actions did toward you. None of that. If we wasn't cool anyway, I don't care. But that brought me a lot of drama. And I'm non-confrontational. So that just brought me a lot of drama. I've had so much stuff happen because of who I was. Just me being myself. So when I got into my adulthood, because a lot of stuff happened with me growing up that I feel like was just done for no reason, just because of who I was. And I was real authentic into myself growing up. And it just brought me a lot of drama. So when I went out into the world, I scaled back on who I was, because it had brought me nothing but drama. Like, people didn't like the honesty. They didn't like the fact that I was going to do what I wanted to do. It wasn't working for me in no aspect. Like, not career, not none of that. But I feel like that's because it was pushed on me that it wasn't right so much. And I just conformed to that. So in my adulthood, I scaled back a lot. I stayed in the cut. I ain't really bring too much attention. I let people walk over me. I let people use me. I gave people what they wanted because I thought that would make them happy, but it didn't. And here we are. So I did all that for no reason to end up being myself anyway. Basically. I went through all that trying to please people just to end. I wasn't myself. Tried to please people and be something else just to end up being myself anyway. So yeah, that sound dumb. So that's why I'm fasting for 90 days. Cause that was just dumb. Look at my baby. Okay, my children harassing me, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut y'all. But yeah, this is just the episode 2, random. I don't even know what I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it, because everything that I just said I hadn't wrote down. I didn't have no points. It just came over me while I was taking a bath. But I gotta go feed my children. So, real best friend, I'm here for you if you need me. Really, if you need me, because that's my whole point of this, is to help people. Lack of knowledge is killing our community. It's leaving our women as single mothers because of lack of knowledge. So yeah, I'm learning it at 30. I have 2 daughters. So what I'm grateful that I'm learning it at 30 and not 50 or 60, because then they would have been well into their adulthood. And now the things that I'm learning right now, I could teach them before they even think about starting life. And then my son, of course. But my daughters, I do this for them. Because the mental state of a woman is already fragile. It's fragile as it is. So to put the pressures of everyday life on top of that is detrimental. Some people don't make it out. I'm lucky I did. Because the hole was deep. I was almost gone. But I do this to help people, so that'll be the end of it. And I'll be back. Maybe randomly I'll be back. Maybe planned I'll be back. But I don't know. Just know I'll be back. Tell them bye, baby.